Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
You probably click on this video because of the title. Democrats are the real threat to America. And no, that's not clickbait. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to carefully show you guys why the biggest danger to this country, why it's not Russia. I'll show you why it's not China. It is something far closer. It is the Democrats. Since President Trump took office, the Democrats have done an excellent job proving themselves to be anti-American. They've done a great job to show us how they are the true enemies, and it is scary. All of us should be very concerned because if America falls, everybody is going down, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican.
But to call it a no kings protest, to act like he is a king is so utterly preposterous. This is a man who won the popular vote. He won every swing state. He is a person who is enacting the exact agenda he promised he was going to enact while he was campaigning. And so what they're actually protesting is the absolute perfection of American democracy, where a person campaigned on an agenda, won the popular vote, and is now enacting that agenda. So it was actually a protest of democracy, all of which is to say the only way to greet such a preposterous proposition, calling this a no kings rally when it's actually an anti-democracy rally, is to crap on it. I'm sorry, is to basically make fun of it. And I think that that has been the Trump administration's approach. They didn't try to stop it, God forbid, because he's not a king. They allowed them to have their say, they allowed them to go out there, and then they made fun of them.
Before President Trump got elected, he said exactly what he wanted to do. He laid out his agenda. He said, this is my plan for immigration. This is my plan for tariff. President Trump said exactly what he wanted to do. And guess what? The American people heard it loud and clear and said, you know what, Mr. Trump, we are with you. We are going to elect you. Now it is the time for President Trump to do the job he was elected to do. That would be democracy. Democracy would be for the Democrats to understand, listen, the American people have spoken. They've chosen Mr. Trump. Get out of the way. Now, if you ever wonder what exactly life would be like if there was ever a king in town, well, my friend, look no further.
First, we must increase vaccinations among the unvaccinated with new vaccination requirements. But we need to do more. This is not about freedom or personal choice. So tonight, I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated. The vaccine requirements in my plan will affect about 100 million Americans, 2/3 of all workers. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Our patience is wearing thin. This is not about freedom. This is not about personal choice. That's something a king would say.
They basically pushed us and said anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. They were trying to roll out the vaccine program. While they're trying to push that program, they also tried to censor anyone who is basically arguing against it. And they pushed us super hard to take down things that were true.
It is obvious by now that Democrats are never to be trusted. Anything you see them accusing President Trump of doing, just automatically know they themselves are guilty of those same things. That's why now it's laughable to see all of them in the streets protesting supposedly because Trump is acting like a king. You know who thought he was a king? Biden. The person that demanded the whole country to take a vaccine against their will or else.
A lot of you have been talking tonight about these government health care plans that you've proposed in one form or another. This is a show of hands question, and hold them up for a moment so people can see. Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
And you guys notice how the audience was clapping, right? When everybody should be saying absolutely not, they were clapping. They are clapping after these people said, yes, we want to give illegal migrants free healthcare. This video should be used every day to remind the American people why they should never vote for these lunatic Democrats. Everybody's hands up. Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden. If you go to Russia or to India illegally, you know what happens to you? You get 5 years in prison. If you go to Pakistan, you get 10 years in prison. If you go to North Korea, forget it, you're not coming back. But somehow, if you come to America, you get free food, you get free housing, you get free healthcare, you get free education. Now, as an immigrant myself, as a legal one, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm against immigration. Of course, I'm not against immigration. However, I am against illegal immigration. I will go even further to say, if you're coming to America to live in America, you must embrace Americans' values. You must embrace American norms. The idea we allow anybody to just come to America, they reject Americans' values and then adapt and promote their values from wherever they come from, I think it's a danger to the future of America. The Democrats have been calling President Trump a fascist for simply following the law of the land. The same law previous administrations have used. Barack Obama used it, George Bush used it, Bill Clinton used it, now President Trump is using it. This video you're about to watch, if you're not paying attention, you may think it's a fascist speaking because this is the same thing President Trump is saying now.
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
Let me ask you, because you say this is a Republican shutdown, but it's Democratic senators who are withholding their votes on what is called a clean resolution. That means no strings attached, which is something, quite frankly, Leader, that you and other Democrats have advocated for in the past. Take a look.
You do not use the threat of shutting down government to try to advance your policy agenda.
First thing that the House has to do is pass a clean 6-week CR.
A continuing resolution that is at the fiscal year 2023 levels is the only way forward.
Why not fund the government and debate extending Obamacare tax credits after the fact? They don't expire till the end of the year.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The level of audacity these people have, if that's what it takes to be a politician, I could never be a politician. One thing that is important is to remain consistent. Whatever you believe in, you must remain consistent. To see the Democrats shutting down the government and hurting American people simply because they could not get free health care for illegal migrants. This is the biggest slap in the face, not just in the face of Democrats, in the face of the American people. This is an insult to our intelligence. Sometimes I wonder, did Kamala Harris and Joe Biden leave the border unprotected because they were that incompetent? Or was it the plan all along? Was it the plan for them to allow 14 million of illegal migrants to come to this country because they knew these people would be later on voting Democrat? Was it the plan? And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think this video right here answers my question.
More than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
The 11 millions of illegal migrants, their goal is to make sure they all get the U.S. citizenship so they can vote in the next election. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. He said it. He said it. And I will tell you guys, if we allow all these people Biden let come to this country, if we allow them to get citizenship, This would be the end of democracy. Because the Republican Party would never win in a general election again. This would be the end of democracy. President Biden ran his whole campaign about we are here to protect democracy. And this man has destroyed this country. This man has violated the Constitution. I can't even say may God help him or may God bless him because what he did was evil. But we are here. We're going to call out the nonsense. We're going to continue to fight. And we're going to make sure we do whatever we have to do to keep these Democrats away from office. As always, thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what to think as I continue to bring more, but most importantly, better content and call out the nonsense from this lunatic Democrat. But we are here to uphold and promote conservative values because this is what we believe in. God, family, country. Repeat after me. God, family, country. As always, may God bless you and may God bless the United States of America.